Hi, today with me is Member Secretary Goa Football Development Council, Alessio Da Costa. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
The GFDC is in charge of development of football in the state from ground level. You all are doing a good job according to what we've heard, though I think it's not yet official. Two women's players have gone for the national camp.
Yes.
Plus there are some 3-4 men players also in the national camp. That's a very good achievement.
Yes.
And especially you all did not have a chairman for some time and everything. So this GFDC is doing a good job on that, sir. However, there have been a few issues that had come up. There were people, allegations. You know how it is, political allegations and all.
Yeah.
Could you first you could give us a small briefing on what you all are doing, means of your programs, and then we could go into the second part of it, sir.
Yeah. See, GFDC was formed in the year 2012, and thereon GFDC has been concentrating on developing football at the grassroots level. As on date, we have about 38 centers, right from Perne to Kankona.
38 centers?
38 centers, grassroots centers, right from Perne to Kankona and Marmagoa to Sangay. Besides that, we have a residential academy for 30 boys at Margaon. So, we select the best 30 from all these grassroots centers, and we then train them in the academy, residential academy. Okay. We have about 4,500 odd boys and girls in our grassroots centers across the state, playing the game of football and learning the techniques of playing the game.
Okay. So, this good work in many ways, it's good because football needs training, and earlier there was no people, there were a lot of stars, there were a lot of players, but there was no systematic training, no development. Now it's good. However, all this good work sometimes gets tainted when allegations come. Can you, there were some allegations of some pecuniary money and lot of, so could you give us some details? It's better that the public knows exactly what the issue is about.
See, since the last few days, allegations are being made against JFDC of corrupt practice in partnering Churchill Brothers Sports Club. Before I come to that allegation, I would like to clarify certain other allegations which have been made earlier by people who were in GFDC.
Okay.
They themselves were in GFDC, running the show from 2012 to 2015, and are now out of GFDC, and are making allegations of corruptions and other things against the GFDC, although GFDC has been doing a very good job. Let's go to the year when GFDC was formed or came into being. 2012.
Okay.
In my place as member secretary was Mr. Elvis Gomes, and Dr. Rufin Montero was the chairman. And he had a team of others in the council, like Brahmanand Sankwalkar and others. See, as per the rules of business of the government, for any government body to come into being or to form a government body, corporation or a society, you need to take approval, administrative approval of the concerned ministry, that is the sports ministry in this case. Then you need to have concurrence of the finance department, and you need to go to the council of ministers for approval. Now, none of this was followed by Mr. Elvis then.
Okay.
No approvals were taken from the Ministry of Sports, or from the Finance Department, or from the Council of Ministers. However, a body called GFDC was registered with the Registrar of Cooperative Societies.
Okay.
Now, Mr. Elvis is saying GFDC has spent about 30-40 odd crores, and what is the outcome? He's asking for the outcome today. Let's see what they did in the first 2-3 years in GFDC. Immediately after they formed the council, they wanted an office to run the affairs of the council. Now they hired the 6th floor and 4th floor of Miles High building
In Pato.
in Pato,
Okay.
and paid a woofing amount of 3 crores
Okay.
as rent.
Okay.
So GFDC's budget is say about 4 to 5 crores per year, but over a period of 3 years, they paid 3 crores as rent itself.
Okay.
Now again, to hire a private premises to house your office, a government office, you need to have approval of the finance department.
Yes.
They look at the reasonability of the rent you fix. None of this was followed.
No procedure was followed.
No procedure was followed.
Okay.
As ED, SEG, then Elvis signs an agreement with owner of Miles High, takes over the 6th floor. At what rent? They mutually agreed by them. Government doesn't know anything about this.
Okay.
Then after that office was established, he purchased a vehicle for the chairman. Now again, finance department has guidelines for purchase of vehicles. They have a ceiling on the upper ceiling on the cost of the
Limit,
vehicle.
yes.
Now for a chairman, then upper limit was 10 lakhs.
Okay.
And you need prior approval of the finance department to purchase a vehicle. No approval was taken from the finance department, and a vehicle was purchased for 13.6 lakhs.
Okay.
Thereafter, Mr. Elvis and Dr. Rufin Montero embarked on a foreign tour.
Okay.
Now you may know, no government officer or chairman of a government body can go on foreign tour at government cost without the approval of the finance department.
Yes. Yes.
No such approval was taken. But they went to Russia and South Africa, spent about 5 lakhs on their tour. Now Elvis says he has been the scriptwriter and director and producer of this GFDC.
Okay.
Yes, he has written a script. He has usurped the powers of the sports department, the finance department and the council of ministers and formed the GFDC. Now as on date, GFDC is not a legal body because it doesn't have the required approvals
From the government.
from the government.
Now this is news.
Then when on their return back from the foreign tour, they brought a foreigner and employed him in GFDC
Okay.
as technical director.
Okay.
His salary was fixed at a rate of $5,000 per month. Then,
Okay. That's a lot.
with other perks like rent-free accommodation, car, and to and fro air ticket to South Africa twice a year. Now this gentleman was there with GFDC for 11 months. Now the dollar rate was not locked against the rupee on the day he was appointed. So initially when he was appointed, the dollar, his salary worked out to about 2.4 lakhs per month. But it went up to 3.10 lakhs
Because of the dollar.
because of the spiral, downward spiral of the rupee against the dollar. So the dollar rate should have been locked against the rupee
At that
on the
time.
day he was appointed. Now forget, to appoint a foreigner in government organization, again you need approval from the government. It was not taken. And you spent about 38 lakhs on this gentleman for 11 months. Now what this fellow did in 11 months and what results he gave to GFDC is a big question mark. Now under 17 World Cup was held in India
Yeah.
in the year 17. Having a technical director at a cost of $5,000, you should have produced at least one player worth a place in the under 17 team. Now, none of this happened. There was no Goan in the under 17 team, or for that matter, for any team, Indian team, age group team. Now, reason Elvis has to answer. He was president of JFA and also member secretary of JFDC at that relevant time.
So basically, sir, what you're saying is that for a certain period, I mean, from the inset, starting off of this corporation, which was basically formed for the development of football at grassroots level, nothing was done. Plus, no procedures are followed at them. This is basically what you're saying. In short,
no, in short, I'm trying to say now. These people, specifically Elvis, is talking of corruption in the GFDC. I want to bring before the public what he was doing in GFDC as member secretary. Now, he didn't stop there. Now, see how he looted and plundered funds from GFDC to run his affairs in GFA. First thing he did was he came up with a grant-in-aid scheme for football clubs in the state. Now, as per financial rules, a institution or a body, government body, which is getting grant from the government cannot give grants to another private body or a government body. These are financial rules are very clear on this. Despite this, they came up with a grant-in-aid scheme for private clubs. Now, to run a scheme, such a scheme, you need approval again of the government, of the finance department and of the council of ministers. And then you need to notify the scheme in the official gazette and implement it. Nothing was was done. They just drafted a scheme and implemented it at their own level. In the first year, they fixed an upper limit of 5 lakhs per club and gave grants to Goa Valley Sports Club, Santa Cruz Club of Cavalusim, and the other club was Wilred Leisure Club Kurtorim and Margaon Sports Club. Now, on what basis these clubs were selected is not known.
They were not winners of any tournaments?
No, the eligibility criteria was the club was required to participate either in Pro League of GFA or the first division.
Okay.
Now, are only these 4 clubs playing in the first division or the Pro League? There were no other clubs. So, how these clubs were shortlisted? No one knows. Now, see the hitch there. In the second year, they enhanced the limit to 10 lakhs and gave funds to only 2 clubs. One is Goa Valley Sports Club and the other is Santa Cruz Club of Cavalusim. Okay. Now, it so happens, it can't be a coincidence. The General Secretary of Goa Valley Sports Club is one Mr. Velvin Menezes, who happened to be the Executive Committee member of JFA and General Secretary of JFA.
Okay.
So, Elvis as member secretary of GFDC was diverting funds to his Executive Committee member, where he was president of that association. Forget conflict of interest here. You see, this is loot and plunder of government money. Government now doesn't know anything about it. This was all done at the level of the council by Elvis and Dr. Rufin Montero. We'll see one step ahead. They hired a knowledge partner. Okay. The council hired a knowledge partner. Dr. Rufin Montero and Elvis hired a knowledge partner for the council. One Transstadia Mumbai agency was hired by name Transstadia Mumbai in 2013. 1 crore 5 lakhs is spent on this Transstadia. Their fee was fixed at the rate of 3.40 lakhs per month. Now, this Transstadia, which was hired as a knowledge partner for GFDC, what work they have done, nobody knows. There is no written record of what work they have done. I think they have organized one gift workshop, and they have drafted a football policy, they say, but it has not seen the light of day. Forget this. A crore is spent on them, and they during the same period happen to be sponsors of JFA.
I see.
So you are paying crores of rupees to a knowledge partner and taking them as sponsor for your association where you are president. They give you a sponsor of 25 lakhs in the first year and then 20 lakhs in the second year. So this is not siphoning of money from GFDC to GFA, but loot and plunder from GFDC to GFA. So Elvis was running the affairs of GFA at the cost of GFDC.
Nepotism. What do you think? What do you think?
Of course. And he is talking about corruption in the association of GFDC with Churchill Brothers.
No, what is this issue with Churchill Brothers?
I'll come to it. I'll come to it. But see how money was spent. He is asking us how crores of rupees are spent and what is the outcome. I want to show to the public how he has been spending money.
Yes.
Yeah, how he was spending money when he was a member secretary of the council. Now, yeah, coming back to your question.
The Churchill. Now, these allegations of Churchill are coming up.
Now, Elvis says
from political circles.
Elvis says GFA is a body of clubs.
Yes.
Okay, village clubs and corporate clubs, which are registered as private limited companies. For a moment, let's agree with Elvis that it is an association of clubs, and GFDC cannot be a club and it cannot be part of GFA. But in 2014-15, when Elvis was member secretary of GFDC and president of GFA, he took an amount of 10,000 as fee from GFDC and granted GFDC provisional affiliation and allowed GFDC to field 2 under 14 teams, one in North and one in South, and 1 team in under 16 tournament. These tournaments were organized by GFA.
Okay.
So GFDC fielded teams in GFA tournaments. Okay. In the year 2015, he again took fee for granting provisional affiliation to GFDC and allowed teams to be fielded in under 14, under 16 and under 14 girls team.
Okay.
But to the bad luck of GFDC and these youngsters, Elvis was booted out from GFDC in July. Immediately he stopped GFDC from fielding the teams in GFA tournaments.
Okay.
Now, when you are member secretary of GFDC and president of GFA, it suits you to make GFDC as a club and give its provisional affiliation. When we are shunted out, you say no, GFDC is not a club. What is the logic? And whom are you denying an opportunity to become future stars? The youngsters of the state, the youth of the state, they are suffering. The ultimate sufferers are the youngsters. They don't understand what politics you are playing at your level. But you are denying them an opportunity, saying GFDC cannot be a club. Then why at all you wrote the script and directed and produced this GFDC? If GFDC is not allowed to participate in the affairs of GFA, participate in the tournaments conducted by GFA, then what script did you write? As president of GFA and member secretary of GFDC, could not you protect the interest of GFDC when you wrote the script?
Now about Churchill, going back.
Okay. Now, since GFDC cannot field its teams in any of the tournaments of GFA, what do we do to the youngsters whom we are training? We train them and keep them like that without any opportunity to participate in competitive tournaments?
Okay.
What is the way out? How will they come out from their cocoon? How will they shine? How will somebody recognize them in the fold of football?
What did you do?
So we had to find a wire media.
And what was that via media?
Via media was, we invited expression of interest from all professional clubs
Okay.
to field our teams,
Okay.
JFDC's teams,
As juniors
as under 14, under 16 teams.
of those clubs.
Of those clubs, we requested, invited expression of interest from Churchill, from Dempos, Salgaonkars, Sporting Club and FC Goa.
Okay. And
None of the clubs responded except Churchill.
okay.
Now this tie-up with Churchill to field our teams, not players,
Teams.
our
okay. Full
teams
teams. Okay. Okay.
in tournaments, it is confused on the concept of transfer of player between clubs.
Actually, it's not.
Where is the transfer of player here? We are not transferring any player. We are not giving player to Churchill Brothers. We are asking Churchill Brothers, you don't field your team. Give us opportunity to field our team as Churchill Brothers teams in GFA tournaments. Solely because we wanted to provide an opportunity to the youngsters to come up and shine at the state level,
And for that,
so that they are recognized.
for that the funds were.
Churchill Brothers came forward and said, okay, you field your teams, but this is the fee we'll have to charge you.
Okay. So that is the amount that was given to them.
Sorry. We just give it at the council level. We said we'll go to the government. We'll explain to the government that this is the difficulty which we are facing with GFA.
Okay.
But this is the club which has come forward. They are asking us a fee. Do you agree? Give us approval. So we took approval from finance department to pay fee to Churchill Brothers.
Okay.
Finance has examined it, seen the reasonability of the fee which Churchill has charged and given us permission, and we have paid. So there is no hanky-panky in tie-up with Churchill Brothers.
This followed the procedure. That's what
We
you're
followed the procedures. It's very transparent.
saying. Okay.
It's there. Records are there for all to see.
But there are a lot of these political outfits who are blaming blaming. I don't know what exactly the blame. I haven't figured that one out because it's like all over. But at least they're saying Churchill Brothers got money. That's what they're saying. So is this the only thing or something else?
See, this is the fee which JFDC paid for Churchill.
Correct.
We have not given grant or anything like
Nothing.
that.
Okay. Okay.
But I believe SAG has implemented a scheme
Okay, 1 crore or whatever.
to give grants to professional clubs playing in I-League.
Yes. Okay.
Now, Churchill Brothers is the only club which is playing in the I-League
As of today.
as of date.
Yes.
That means Churchill Brothers would be the only club which will be eligible for the grant.
Oh, okay.
That's why he must be getting the grant. I don't know.
Possibly, yes. That makes sense.
But Dempo Salgaonkar Sporting Club are not in the I-League.
Hopefully, we will, Dempos also will hopefully join soon.
Definitely, we want them to join because they will definitely provide opportunities for Goan players to compete at the national level. They should, keeping their differences apart with AIFF, they should go and play in the I-League.
We spoke to the newly appointed chairman the other day. He was saying, he was talking, I think, I don't know
Chairman
how
of?
many- GFDC.
That's
GFDC.
another thing which I would like to clarify. Hopefully, I wish he is appointed.
Oh, it's not, nothing is final.
Till date,
there is no appointment.
I have
yet.
not received any communication from the government that
Okay.
anybody is appointed as chairman
Okay.
or the council is reconstituted. I'm waiting.
Okay. No, but that
I
was
can't
not-
confirm that somebody is appointed as
Okay,
chairman.
No, that wasn't the question. Was that we were talking because we were talking about his days in Salgaonkar.
Okay.
At that time, such a long tenure. And
Means
then-
you are referring to Brahmanan.
Yeah, Brahmananda Sankar. So there we were talking about that time Goa was, Goa was a known brand for football. There were so many clubs shining,
Yes.
So that's hopefully that soon we will see that again because see everybody when the time that we were growing up it was like Dempos, Salgaonkar, Cesars, all these teams.
Yes.
And later Sporting, but
Yes.
initially those were the big
Yes.
guys, the big
Yes,
guns.
yes.
So hopefully with the push that GFDC and Churchill, of course, later, the push that GFDC is giving and the grassroots players, hopefully we will see more youth out in the fields, on the grounds of Goa, and maybe...
Definitely, that is our aim. That's our aim.
Yes. And thank you, sir, for coming on.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.